my reading journal is here before you. And just let me start by saying that if you're looking for like a cohesive and good video, this is not the video for you. This is going to be a rambly mess. I'm going to just talk about the stuff that I like in here. Probably going to gush about books and shows and stuff. I'll try not to spoil. Yeah, so if you just want some company to have in the background, this might be for you. Otherwise, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, so I started this ages ago, it feels like, but probably not more than a year ago. And I started it really ambitiously. I thought I would, you know, not really become a booktube channel or anything like that, but keep some trackers and, you know, where are my trackers? And keep, you know, the monthly spreads and all that. But it hasn't really turned out that way, and I'll go into that a bit more. But this is my, you know, decoration on the first pages. Let me zoom you in a bit, maybe. Let's see. Something like that. So, yeah, some steampunk pictures. Kind of like this, actually. And then, right now it says reading journal, but I actually have decided to do it like... This is my media consumption journal. So it has both movies and shows and books and fanfics, because I like that. And yeah, so it's my everything. Except like events in my life, it's separated from that. Also, another thing about me is that as I have already said in my last video, I like writing a lot. So a lot of the things I do in here is trying to understand why I like something. So if we take... I don't know, like this little poem here, I've tried to analyze why I like that. And then there's also the fact that when I think, it doesn't stick in my head unless I've written it on paper. So, for example, there's this YouTube video, Oberna versus Jeff Bezos. It's really good, I like it a lot. It's a bit all over the place, but I love that. But I've written down a few quotes from that video because I don't know, I just wanted to do that. And also, it's not that I agree with everything here, but it's like it's a good video that's food for thoughts. And for me, thoughts often need to go down on paper. So that's just how I process information, I guess. Either way, here's like some book recommendations on some books from the bookshelf. I'm still trying to find, yeah, I know what I like, but I'm trying to find someone who has the same taste as me online, and I haven't really found someone. There are a few books here that I had to cross out after just a few, yeah, after a try, I guess. They just weren't for me. Oh, I need to cross out this one as well. I am really picky when it comes to prose. I like things written in a certain way. So, yeah, I'm just really picky. And if I don't like anything, I will DNF it, like, straight away. There's just straight to jail. I usually try to... like if I don't finish a show, I usually need to read on Wikipedia how it ends, so that I can let it go. And it's a bit similar with books. If it's like if I have it in paper format, then I will just skip to the end just to be able to let it go. But yeah, here's a list of to buy things. I bought all of them. There's here's a list of books that I want to revisit, and there's also a list of fics that I want to revisit, so fanfictions. Like I said, there are fanfictions out there that are actually good, in my opinion. Yeah. So there will be a bit of that in this as well. I also have like a list of books that I read a lot of fantasy, but these are more like, I don't know, philosophy of walking, for example, or solving the climate change. They're more solving the climate challenge. Sorry, more like. Oh, there's also the Emily or the Bronte sisters series. Apparently, I have that on my shelf, I think. This was an idea I tried to track, but you see I only did it once. Oh god. And here I started with doing monthly spreads. So yeah, July 2021, about a year ago, is the first month I have in here. Then we have, okay, so here's my first revisited fic. It's Spiritism by Nova Kane, one of my absolute favorite fic writers, Nova Kane. Her stuff is still on fanfiction.net, so yeah, that's a bit of a hassle. But lovely short fics, a lot of very poetic, and I really, love that. So I have like a few comments and quotes, and try to analyze the structure. So you have a refrain, and then you have a scene, a climax, and then the refrain again. I love that. It's really good. Then I decided I wanted some quotes. So I have, these are mostly again from fanfictions, but like I just love, for example, this one. His heart is not so much beating as it is falling down a set of stairs, each step hitting it painfully with a thud, each fall to the next step dizzying. I don't know, I love that. I guess I'm a bit easily impressed, maybe, or I don't know. I love it when books have stuff like that. Like the one I'm reading right now is, I'll come to that, it's at the end here. Here's another one by Nova Kane, Gesellschaft. I don't know, she has really weird titles. But yeah, so again, analyzing the structure. Here I transcribe the ending because I love the ending. But yeah. I love her. Nova Kane has really nice way of writing adjectives. So like pillow, drowned, bed. I like that. It's really descriptive. And then I like her refrains. She usually has like something that's a refrain. So yeah. So this is set after the books, I guess, in a more dystopic world. Then we have Can You Help Me Unravel My Latest Mistake by Suzuki Blue. Also a wonderful fic. This one is actually on AO3. But it's really smutty though. But it's wonderful. It's just, it has so much longing. And I sort of analyzed that and tried to see what made it so angsty. And then I sort of use that in my own writing to I don't know, that's how it works, right? You read and look at stuff that you like, and then you sort of make your own style. So here I'm still doing the title pages. This is August 2021. I revisit my favorite. This is actually also a piece, and I don't know who wrote it, and I can't find it online anymore. But it goes like this. Sorry, let me just... There we go. The sky is calling, stars are falling, the night's in bloom. The angels sigh as you and I bring down the moon. I really love that. I think, if I remember correctly, and this was ages ago, like, I don't know, I was maybe 13 or something. I found it online. It was the last pieces of a really long fanfic poem. I don't know, I can't find it anymore, and it's breaking my heart that I can't attribute it to anyone, but I love this. The sky is calling, the stars are falling. Yeah, and I try to analyze why I love that. Looked at the rhythm of it, and stuff like that. I don't know. I like that. Might not be for everyone. I like it. Then we have another fic here, and I try to analyze. I really love the first chapter, I'm Only Human After All, by Ghost in the Library. And I really love the first chapter. It managed to tick off all the things. The rest of the fic was good as well, but like the first chapter was just the essence of good structure. It was like setting up a case, so it was a case fic, but then also setting up the relationship going on. Like a lot of fanfics that I like and read has a focus on relationship development and I guess feelings. Yeah, that's also where I get my romance fix is from fix. Because otherwise I read a lot of grim, dark and fantasy, which hasn't got that much focus on romance really. It has big focus on emotions, but it's usually more negative emotions. But yeah. And then I have transcribed a poem that I like. It's the Do Not Stand at My Grave and Weep. It's really known, but I like it a lot. Yeah. Here I also wrote some reflections. I've stopped doing that, I think. This was my title page for September 2021, but it was really messy and all over the place, so I wrote in this stuff later to make it a bit more toned down. You see these big flowers here in the background were really taking over the whole thing. So I mean, this is still not my best spread, but I like it better than I did before. I try to decide which audiobook to listen to next here. So here we are a bit more in the freer, or we're entering the freer parts. Here's another fic. Again, trying to analyze the start, why it's so good. Oh yeah, I love, I'm a sucker for a punchy first sentence, and here the first sentence is, he definitely drowned multiple kittens in a previous life. Yeah, that's good. That's a good first sentence. It's a bit I'm a sucker for a good first sentence. The Paths You Take by Cosmic Ocelot. Then we have the Bob Burnham versus Jeff Bezos by CJDX. That's a YouTube video. I really like it. As I said, food for thoughts. I don't agree 100% with everything, but I love the analysis. I find it really, it's good. It's 2 hours long, so you're in for a ride. Yeah, I think I got this from Plant-Based Bride, and she got it from somewhere else. I need to look up who actually wrote it, but it's it's a short poem. Shadows mutter, mist replies, darkness purrs as midnight sighs. And I thought that fitting for October. And I just wrote some reflections here. Here we have then, I think yeah, okay, this is where it starts to go a bit more wild. But Red Sister by Mark Lawrence is the actual first book I've written about in here. But I mean, the other things also count, come on. Red Sister by Mark Lawrence, and okay, no spoilers now. I am one of the people, okay, as I said, I read a lot of grimdark. Mark Lawrence has written Prince of Thorns and that trilogy. Now, it's really edgy, and I actually love his prose. It's a lot... it's really punchy and dense with emotions, I guess. But the Prince of Thorns is also like the main character is more or less a psychopath, and it's really dark. Like really, really dark. And then at the end, it lost me a bit. The plot, not the prose, but the plot lost me a bit at the end. And a lot of people also then... Yeah, many people who, don't really like that trilogy. So I never even finished it. I just read the first book. But I was like, okay, I need to give Mark Lawrence another chance because I loved his prose. And Red Sister got a lot of good reviews on YouTube, so I was like, yeah, okay, gotta give this a chance. And I hated it. And I was really sad about hating it because I loved a few... I love the world. I love the fact that the main character is bisexual. I love the prologue, the interlude, and the epilogue. I love the idea with those three. Those are the top thing in the book. And then I love the first meaning, which is that it is important when killing a nun to ensure that you bring an army of sufficient size. Again, a really punchy first sentence. I love that. But then I hate everything else. I hate the main character. She's so bland. She's so... And then a lot of the beginning of the book, this is not a spoiler, a lot of the beginning of the book is like a budget and worse and more bland version of Hogwarts. It was just so boring. And again, I love his prose, so it's such a pity. Yeah. So that was pity. But this one I loved. Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Eames. I need to reread it and analyze it because it was just so good. It's the premise is more or less, or like Nicholas Eames I think has said in an interview, or maybe it says at the end of the book or something, that he wanted to explore how a fantasy band, that are heroes going out on adventures, how they would be if they were like an old, aged out, washed up rock band. It's a lovely, lovely, lovely book. I laughed a lot while reading it, and it's I recommend that with all my heart if you are a bit more into fantasy and a bit more into I don't know, is it still grimdark though? I don't know. I wouldn't count it as really like Abercrombie kinds of grimdark, but it has darker elements, but it's lovely. Alright, then we are at, I think the time skip here is from October 2021 to July 2022. And here I was like, okay, so I still want to use this diary, but you know how it is when you leave some project lying for a long time, it's sometimes hard to get back to it. But I like finishing notebooks, so it's a bit to just throw away all these pages, especially because I really like how some of them turned out. So I thought that I would just let go of trying to write down each monthly spread and let go of a lot of my rules about it and just write whatever I wanted at that time, but keep it to books, shows, and whatever I have, like media, I guess, consumption in here. So I just, wrote a little text for myself, and then I wrote a list of the movies and shows and audiobooks and other things that I had consumed, I guess, during that break. So there are a few, there are some. I read a lot of Agatha Christie. I guess listened to this on audiobooks. I listen to audiobooks when I go to work, and I like listening to audiobooks when I sit and color as well, sometimes, every now and then. And then There Were None is a really good Agatha Christie book, really. There's a few really good, there's another good YouTube video there, Line Goes Up, by Folding Ideas. Recommend that, again, food for thoughts. It's long, it's 2 hours long. Try to listen to the Wheel of Time books. I have DNF'd book number 4. I just can't anymore. I love the first one. Guards, though, by Terry Pratchett. Chef's kiss. Then there are a few fanfics. Again, When the Highway Takes Me by Pax Lux. Love that one. These Violent Delights by Pacifill. To Come Undone by When They Write. A Simple Life as Survivor. Trying to Break Through by Coffee in All Caps. I don't remember what that was about. I need to look it up, because I only wrote down the ones that really stood out to me in my bookmarks. The Wrong Way by Yuriko, I guess. I don't remember what that. No, I know what that one is. The Wrong Way is so good. Oh my god, it's so good. It's horrible, and I love it. It's so heartbreaking. Okay, anyway. So yeah, and then I wrote just a small review about Pride and Prejudice that I had read during that period. I wrote Surprisingly Entertaining. A bit more about the enemies to lovers trope. And then There Were None. I wrote a bit about that. I really liked that, but I tried reading Murder on the Orient Express, and unfortunately I just disliked the character of Poirot, so it becomes a lot harder than to read more Agatha Christie books with him in focus, I guess. We have Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. I wrote that it was entertaining when I read it, but it didn't stick with me, honestly. I don't remember anything more, but the best thing is the world building. As usual, Brandon Sanderson is just he's great at world building. Then we have the Wheel of Time, and here I just wrote a lot. The main thing I have a problem with is the weird way the women are written, or the really gendered coding of them. It's really, they don't feel like people when they talk. They just are, they don't feel like real people, at least not in book 3. And I mean, credit where credit is due, he did try, and the half of the characters are actually women, which is, compared to Tolkien. Not that I'm one of the ones saying that. It's a part of the time, I guess. And I actually think that Lord of the Rings, at least the movies, does have some strong female characters, like Galadriel and Eowyn. Maybe not Arwen, but still, I don't know. Either way, Wheel of Time, and I can't. I can't. I have DNF'd that so hard. We'll see. Maybe one day I can read the Wikipedia page. Next, I wrote a bit about Sense and Sensibility. It was okay. There's some information that I didn't know about. below there's a list of different YA standalones that I might give a chance to. Some rom-com recommendations, all for movies this time. Oh, I found the Clockwork Reader on YouTube. She had some recommendations. I think she might be the one that has a taste most similar to me, at least, of the ones that I've been recommended by YouTube algorithm. Yeah, next we have like some pros and cons for starting Berserk. That's a manga. We actually have it, the first 2 books at home. My son was reading them. What I'm a bit worried about is that it's unfinished. And the original author actually died, but now someone else is picking up and writing the ending of it. And I'm going to wait a bit and see what the buzz about that is, if the consensus is that it was a good ending, like a good, not a good ending as in, was satisfying, I guess, because I hate it when it doesn't work out. The World of Time is actually a book like that. The Wheel of Time, I mean, is actually a book like that where. I mean, I guess you probably know if you're into fantasy, but Brandon Sanderson finished that, wrote the last book, and apparently he did a really good job, so that's why I dared start that. But yeah, I don't know. I wrote a quick to-do here. Yeah. Then we have my summer TBR. I actually... Oh yeah. Shadows of the Gods I'm reading right now, and I adore it. But yeah, that's more or less all I've read this summer. But hey, no, it's not. I mean, I've read a lot of fanfics, but when it comes to books, just a few notes about another video, ContraPoints, some quotes that I thought were interesting. You know, food for thoughts. It's not that I agree with everything here, but just, yeah. Here I decided I would write my soft DNF. So DNF stands for did not finish, so books that you just gave up on. And for me, that's The Shadows Between Us. I already ranted about that in some random video, I think. It's supposed to be this really good... Or I was convinced by YouTubers, I guess, that The Shadows Between Us is a really good fantasy romance with darker elements. And as I said, I like darker books. I read a lot of grimdark, and I love that. My favorite author is probably Abercrombie, I guess. Maybe. He's up there at least. I just really didn't like the characters, and also the king, or like the male protagonist, didn't feel like a real person. And also I was so I've written here lots of focus on clothing, and it's almost, yeah, it's a bit too much in that it wasn't for me. It might be for someone else. It wasn't for me. Next we have Casino Royale is another one I DNF'd. So that's the novel that the James Bond books are based upon. Films, I mean. And that's actually another project I have going right now. I'm watching the old James Bond movies. Oh my god, they're so bad. They're just so bad. Both, I mean, of course, the misogyny of them it's part of the time, I guess. There's actually a lot of really awkward racism as well, and then even, I mean, that's a part of the time maybe, but it's still not really, I can't really defend it. And then what's more, the plot is so, or at least in the ones I've seen this far, I'm still on the, that's right, I've seen the whole Sean Connery era now, and I'm on the next James Bond. And the new James Bond is so much less charismatic than Sean Connery. Sean Connery at least brought some charisma into the like production, but the plot is also so thin. I could write a better plot, I think, maybe. Probably not, but oh god. Anyway, Casino Royale, I DNF that. I came to a part where like a paragraph after Bond had been tortured, he goes into like a 2-page long rambling wannabe philosophical rant about right and wrong, and it just felt a bit out of place or something. I don't know. But then I think that's the last. No, I've written more stuff. Okay, but here's some space then for more DNFs. Then we have I started doing this stuff, July wrap up. Oh, The Search for Shmoo by Zuzeka is another wonderful fanfic. Yep. It's smutty, but it's really good. I wrote that it's. I would give it. Oh, I actually rated it. I love it. Redundancy by Opalescent Gold is another wonderful fic. It's really angsty. I love that. In Our Line of Work, another wonderful fic. I love that. I wrote, "This touched my heart." Oh. And then I analyzed the fic that was really poetic, and I kind of liked a lot of quotes from it. If I fall, I'll fall apart. Love that. Here's a random quote. I think it's from... I should have written down where it's from. I need to get better at doing that. But... oh yeah, it was a part from a poem. It was something, and then like Schrödinger's cat in a box that asks, "Am I real or not?" Like that. It would be even nicer if it rhymed, but I like that. Then we have the movies I watched in August. It's just 3. I don't watch that many movies, but like Emma, the movie Emma, is so good. It's so good. It's based on another Jane Austen movie, and yeah, love that. I have a checkout list here with just Naomi Novik on it right now. Naomi Novik is one of the authors I read when I was a teenager. I should read more of her because I remember liking her, even when I realized it was probably written for someone a bit older. But yeah. Oh, here are the first quotes from Shadow of the Gods. So, lightning scarred skies. I really like that. As I said, I'm easily impressed. Canals had been carved into the land, feeding from the river like leeches. That's also from Shadow of the Gods. It's a really good fantasy book. I am 90% done. The narration on Audible is really good. So I recommend it with all my heart. It's based on Nordic mythology. The only thing that's bothering me is that the magic words that they use are written in like Old Nordic, and being a Swedish-speaking person, I can hear the narrator struggling with pronouncing the sounds. And even if Swedish is not Old Nordic, you can hear how some words were supposed to be pronounced. You sort of you feel it in your bones. I don't know how to explain it better than that, but it's a bit of a pity that I don't know how you would fix it. It probably wouldn't. Anyway, oh, here's some quotes from a poem by Danielle M. And we're going into the parts that I have like prepped in advance now. And I'm going to just randomly write down stuff wherever I want, except I will try to keep, July wrap up, and then I will do an August wrap up, and here I'm just keeping track of the August stuff, I guess. But this is by Danielle M. And the things I really love is this. Vacancy envelops the carcass of our love. Band-aid apologies soothe me under summer's dying halo. It's a bastardized version of the whole poem, which you can read here, or even better, check her out on Instagram or somewhere. And then we have a little poem by Robert Loveman over here. The haiku bot on Tumblr caught my eye. And I feel like this really could be like it's a haiku, obviously, but it's like a bot that when someone writes a post and it accidentally turns out to be a haiku, the bot tries to post it. And I really I remember that she used to be the only thing I was drawing. I like that. Good work, haiku bot. So here's some decorating. I realized that I just need some place to write down my thoughts. I like it when it's pretty, but I can't. It's the same as in my normal bullet journal. Creativity it comes in bursts for me, and I can't guarantee that the creativity will be, that my muse will be willing to be creative when I have to write stuff down. So instead I just use the burst when I get it and do stuff, and then I have it prepped for when I don't feel it and just need to do some writing down. But yeah, some Dutch doors. Some tea bag paper, stickers. Here's another little poem. Oh, I like that. It's by Arnold. So if you're too tired to speak, sit next to me because I too am fluent in silence. I like that. And some more decorating. It's also really fun to just, use my washi tape so they get some use. Oh yeah. Here's a thing that I will actually be blurring out, but it's a thing for me. And a bit more decorating here. This is... I sometimes get obsessed with stuff, like with songs or whatever, and I was upset with the song Burn Butcher Burn, so I did this because I'm allowed to do silly stuff like this, okay? But I don't know, it made my obsession go down a bit, and it made me happy, so hey, and I think it looks pretty. But yeah, that's by The Amazing Devil, the band. It's really, it's a whole thing over on Tumblr. But I guess the magic in their songs, I like 3 of their songs maybe, so I'm not like a really huge fan. But on the other hand, that's the amount of songs I usually like per band. So yeah, 1 to 3. There are really few bands that I like more than that. But yeah, so but the songs that I really like they're just saturated with emotion. Like you can hear it in the singer's voice that, yeah, it's just dripping with emotion. Like the song itself. The text is also like thoughtfully written, and it's not like he's a bad singer or they're bad singers, but it's the emotion in the voice that really makes me go for these songs. So yeah. Oh, and this is from a jazz song by performed by Nat Cole. I'm gonna laugh you right out of my life, make it a beautiful joke, and no one will know you broke my heart. I think it's a beautiful little text line. Yeah, a bit more decoration. It's such a cute little cat. And this is far from finished. I'll probably do more decorating. Obviously I need to fill it up with text. This one is empty right now. We'll see what will live in here. I want to incorporate more envelopes. It was kind of fun to have. Oh, another quote from Shadow of the Gods. She walked into a face full of hissing rain. Like that. I guess it's because it's so descriptive. Maybe that's what I like. Alright, so here we have a few more pages that I need to decorate. Or want to have space for. And that's probably it. Yeah. So yeah, that's my chaos of a reading journal. I mean, yeah, that's how I've set it up. I came to the conclusion that I can't have it that structured. I can't do it like this. I can't have the different months. It works for my normal bullet journal, but it takes me like 1 weekend to set up the month, and I don't really have the energy or the time to do another setup like that for my reading journal. So yeah, so that's also why I have, like, in my coloring journal scaled it down. Like my monthly setup is basically just decorating the title. That I have the time to do a bit quickly. It doesn't take a long time, but setting up a really ambitious reading journal spread, I don't know, it wasn't working for me. So instead I just let go of all the rules, and now I'm just writing whatever I want in this book. And yeah, so that's it for this little video.